You better watch out, you better not cry, something something caught my eye. See, most lyrics are a little better than this. This list came a little faster than usual. We usually have to wait a little over 3 months, but the last update was on September 25th, and this one, it is the 19th as I am recording this. Yeah, here's the annoying part. You actually have to look at the list before you see when the last time was updated. This, um, it kind of defeats the purpose of that spoiler page, doesn't it? Anyway, thanks to this, we kind of get flashbanged with the first updates. YGO the Ancient Sentinel is gone. The Ishizu support kind of already got hit. I want to say at the start of the year, or the list before that, but Agido is basically if a card goes from the hand or deck to the opponent's graveyard, except during the damage step, you can surprise them with 2 level 4 Earth Fairy summons. 1 from your hand, 1 from your graveyard. And because Agido is limited, this exception thing didn't really matter. And then if this gets sent from the hand or deck to the graveyard, you can make each player mill 5. Or if you have Exchange of the Spirit 10, which sounds a little rude. Let's go down the list slowly. Next card. Kelbeck's gone. And looking at this one. By the way, Yu-Gi-Oh! Wiki or whatever kind of updated this pretty quickly. Okay, so this thing's effect is that special summoning another Earth Fairy, you bounce a special summon monster your opponent controls. Or if this thing gets discarded, mill 5, then you set a trap for your graveyard. So the Shizu support is probably getting nuked. Mathmech Circular. Alright, let's look up this one. Only attack with 1 monster. Fetch a spell or trap. Must have been some powerful spells and traps if this had to be banned. And hey, Max C is still on there. It's wanting to see this come back is like wanting to see Mega Evolution come back in Pokemon. Hard no. Scrolling too quickly. Oh, I guess I could scroll a little faster. That's all the effect monsters. Isolde, 2 Tales of the Noble Knights. But yeah, I don't care what the Digimon community says about that kind of Pokemon as a ban. No. 2 Warriors to bring this out, and if you do okay, I don't play real Yu-Gi-Oh! but if this had to be banned, the Warrior Toolbox was probably a little wacky. Two synchros. Were there more before? Okay, good. True King of all Calamities is still on there. Pot of Greed is still on there. Chicken Game still there. Okay, good. IO is still there. Mystic Mine is still on there. Okay. But yeah, no back row was hit this list. We probably got some unhits instead. Let's move to limited. Orchest Harp Horror is back. Orchest cards were probably a little too strong if this had, excuse me, if this had to be banned. It seems a little, Huh. Gage got Redux Pass back. This Dragon Roar's pseudo signature was Monster Reborn. Hand or graveyard to special summon. If it was banished, you could fetch an Earth Dragon. And it was an if effect, so you couldn't have it, so you couldn't force him to miss timing. Actually, Rescue Ace Airlifter. Oh, Lifer. Whoops. Yeah, that's... Fetch a spell. When your opponent activates a monster effect, you can bring out another Rescue Ace. Unchained Soul of Sharvar. It would help if I typed that correctly. Okay, so Unchained Soul. Pop one of your fiends or any face down apparently, not just a set monster. And then this locks you out of non-fiend special summons. If this card goes to the graveyard, send Unchained back row from your deck. Saying from the deck. Oh, it went from 3 to 1. Speaking of 3 to 1, Sun Avalon Dryas. You wanna play like that? Oh, it's one of those link ones. Zero attack, can't go in defense position. Does not exist for the purposes of your opponent's attacks. And you can avoid one battle or effect damage per turn. Well, that would have been annoying to deal with that 3. In theory. Sunvine Healer. You lose this if another Sun Avalon link gets removed by an effect. That doesn't sound like a lot of life gain. If the World Chalice Justiciar was unbanned. This one hasn't been updated yet because it still says it's forbidden, but that'll probably change really quickly. It's a synchro. Fetch a World Legacy card from your deck, or summon from the deck or graveyard. They unbanned Snatch Steal. Is this going to be another one format thing? Well, I guess technically you have to be able to target the thing you want to take. The drawback of your opponent gaining life is kind of non-existent when you're using the stolen monster to either clear the way for way more than 1,000 damage, or even removing the monster to make Snatch Steal fall off. But really, I get that they unbanned Change of Heart a while ago. But unbanning Snatch Steal as well. Oh. But would you look at that? 3 new limits on the... 3 new limited traps. Goes in match. Sorry about that. Okay, so... 1 attribute monster, the rest are gone. Rivalry of Warlords. Type instead of attribute. One monster of each type. Okay, these floodgates were probably annoying people if they're all going into... if they're all going on one. Let's look at the semi-limits. Cimoooooo's least favorite part. Pancratops goes from 1 to 2. Yeah. Okay, so... more monsters than you do, once per turn. It's a little more generous than... It's a slightly easier Cyber Dragon-like effect, in that Cyber Dragon was only usable if you had no monsters, and your opponent had any. This cares a little less. You can also quick effect once per turn, pitch one of your Dino Wrestlers to kind of a Raigeki break. Can you tell I didn't look at this list ahead of time? Control no monsters. Bring this out from your hand. Whether or not your opponent has monsters. Special summon, fetch a speed droid from your deck. Well, that probably seems a little rude. But if it's going from 1 to 2, it probably wasn't that strong. Oh, hey. 3 to 2. Why does this have to be case sensitive? Quick spell that blocks 1 battle or direct effect damage. You can also bring out Purely from your deck. Level 1, but... And... Right, there were ways to overlay back row instead of monsters. Draw power on your Pirelli Xyz monsters. Apparently it wasn't that strong if it was at 3 for that amount of time. Alright, it looks like we have room for a bunch of unbans. Hi there! That's 7 of that. Wait! Upstart Goblin to 3. Draw a card, your opponent gains 1,000 life points. Well, this will make flash stacking a little easier. Although apparently a Pot of Greed is getting axed in no banlist tournaments. You kind of... Apparently you aren't flash decking in no banlist tournaments if you have to cut out something like Pot of Greed. Or maybe Pot just gets countered too much. I'm not sure. We do have stuff like Ash Blossom of Joy Spring. Yes, Archfield. When you draw this card while Hellbent, if you were Hellbent and then you drew this card, immediately after, if drawing this card breaks Hellbent, there. And then you could special summon. If special summoning this makes you Hellbent again. Cast your unicorn. Okay, the 2 to 3s are really not much of a surprise. Come to think about it, in the video where I tried to do a banlist roulette, I think I looked at this. I don't remember what the roulette wheel said about it. It's an extra deck rip though. And you get to look at your opponent's extra deck while you're at it. What was this card again? Cannot declare an attack or be tributed, but it wasn't very future-proof because you could still use it as other extra deck materials. I want to say the big two that come to mind are Xyz and Link. Yeah, you're basically using mind control to either open up the way for an attack or to extend your plays. Five Desires. Banish 10. Draw 2. This was a 2 before. Spellbook of Judgment. I wonder. Oh. Okay. Fetch spellbooks based on how many spellbooks you played. And then spellbook special summon something based on how many of those cards you got. This is Bright Starter. I might have looked at this one too. And yeah, Upstart Goblin. One of those really early cards. Spell Ruler. Yeah. A little bonus thing real quick. I'm looking at the... Of course. The Eternal Dual Soul specifies draw one card from your deck for Upstart Goblin, but for Pod Greed it doesn't. Oh, but Duel Academy does. Draw 2 cards from your deck. Which is probably still too complicated for the memes to understand. But, yeah. Couldn't resist showing that again. Although, come to think about it, Upstart Goblin would probably sound more like a scam card. So, this was a thing. Ishizu is kind of toast now. Warrior Toolbox is a little weaker. Orcust came back. The Dragon Rollers. Tidal is still banned. But yeah, they had been slowly unbanning the Dragon Rollers. The baby rollers are at 3 again. is Snatch Steal is back. That's going to shake something up. A few floodgates are harder to bring out. A little. Yeah. After the last list was kind of like, okay, screw Morbius, but the last list was kind of like going, it's listing time! And then putting up a post-it note and falling asleep. It was the nothing. We had one limit, one forbidden, two limits rather, and then two unbans. Yeah, it was the nothing. But this, yeah. Things actually happened this time. Some of them, again, a little on the nuts side. Some of these cards, you look at them and you wonder how they ever get power crept off the list. Or into a higher seed or whatever. But I don't play real Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links doesn't count. So, I'm not very good at interpreting these. Oh well.